Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Central European Time, and I'm so excited to send you my greetings today from the wonderful, absolutely amazing, magnificent concert hall, Historische Stadthalle in Wuppertal. I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to make this stream tonight from here, where I'm very moved that basically this trip here has happened, and I will of course also let you know the reason behind it. But first of all, let me tell you a few words about this place. Well, as you can see, this is a very special concert hall. It was built in the end of the 19th century and was finished in 1900. So actually, it is well, the other connection, I will tell you about that later. But this is maybe a kind of Italian influence building, and I will just show you this hall a little bit. I will move the camera a little bit around. Yes, see you. Hi, everyone. I'm trying, you see, I'm sitting a little bit far away. I'm trying now to read some comments via my iPad. Well, I hope it will work. Sooner or later it will work. But anyway, let me show you, please, this beautiful, absolutely wonderful place. So look here, it is absolutely gorgeous. So there, it's my third time in this concert hall, third time with the Sinfonieorchester Wuppertal. So Wuppertal is a place in North Rhine-Westphalia. I hope you see it. I try to move it as slow as possible so that you can really enjoy this gorgeous place. So yes, the Wupper is actually a river. Yeah, I'm glad that you can also see this, and also, of course, the organ, which is absolutely amazing. So Wupper, yes, is a, so now I put it onto the right place, and then I will try to again. Well, you know, the technical things are somehow, it's not ideally mine, but anyway, I'm trying to do my my absolutely best. Now, gotcha. I have everything. I can read your comments on my iPad. So the Wupper is, yes, it's a right tributary of Rhine, and it flows to Rhine, and it's very, the nature here around is very beautiful. I like it very, very much. And this hall was opened in 1900, and at that time it had an organ which was one of the biggest organs in concert organs in Germany. So it is really very special place because it also survived the Second World War without any damage. So it was possible to resume the concert performances and opera performances right after the war also here, and acoustically it's brilliant. It has a very, very nice, what I call the sound has time to develop. It has time to leave like a flower, you know, that it has time to open. And there are no chairs here right now because the reason actually I'm here and I'm so excited to share this beautiful place with you is that tomorrow the Sinfonieorchester Wuppertal and myself and Maestra Julia Jones, we are making a video recording of Sergei Rachmaninov's Piano Concerto number 2, which will be streamed 2 times. Please check the link in the description for this video on April 3rd and 10th. So it will be a video recording which will be streamed 2 times on April 3rd and 10th, which of course you are very welcome to enjoy. And yeah, it's amazing that this this recording, this event takes place because yeah, you know that I haven't been outside, outside in the field, as I call it, since November. So this is a very long time since then, but it feels very good to breathe the air of the concert hall. You know what I mean? It's a very special air here. So that's why there are no chairs, because for the recording we have a special black curtain, which you probably have seen for the acoustics, because it makes the acoustics a little bit not drier, but it's more, in a way, more clear. So this is amazing feeling for me to be here, to be back here. As I was mentioning, this is my third time, and yeah, I feel so happy that this recording tomorrow can happen, and I would like to thank every single person who is making this possible. Of course, it will be, as you probably see, because we have the setting for the tomorrow's recording already. As you see, every musician is sitting quite far away from each other due to the corona regulations. But I think, of course, it is more challenging because we're used to, making music together also means that we are somehow very compact. We are very compact together, that we share it. So now it's a little bit different, and of course, the sound it's not the same sound as when we're keeping together, also, in a closer group. But anyway, I think it's also an amazing chance to be more sensitive, to really to listen more careful even for each other, and this makes this very special. And I think it's just great that there is this possibility to make music with other musicians, and to share it with the audiences. And that's why, indeed, I'm really very moved to be here, and really thank you all for making this possible. So I'm just reading a little bit of course I say my greetings to all of you. It's great to see you here, and I'm happy that you're also enjoying this beautiful place. And it seems that you hear me also well, which is, I'm happy. No, oh, I see, I can barely hear. Okay, I will just speak a little bit louder. Well, so the piece which I would like to discuss with you tonight is Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto number 2, which I will be also recording tomorrow for these 2 streamings on April 3rd and 10th. And of course, to be honest, I couldn't believe that myself. I found out that I did not play this concerto for, let me be honest, 13 years. This is really unbelievable. I don't know how that happened, but this piece, the second piano concerto, last time I played it on stage was indeed 13 years ago. But it was, of course, very exciting for me to rework it again, to discover this piece again for myself, and to see to discover indeed so many new things for me in this piece. Although, of course, it is very popular, it is so much played, so much heard, so often listened to. But this piece is, of course, an absolute masterpiece by Rachmaninov, who I anyway adore, as you all know, both as a composer and as a performer, as a pianist. So what I was talking about, 1900, which I was mentioning before, that was the year of the opening of this hall. The second piano concerto by Sergei Rachmaninov was actually composed between 1900 and 1901. For me, it was somehow also very interesting to learn that first Rachmaninov composed the second and the third movements, and even performed them with the orchestra before composing the first movement, and completing the piano concerto and performing it in 2000, you see, I'm already another 1,000, 901. So the piece is, many of you probably know, Rachmaninov composed after a very difficult crisis which he had after the big disaster of the first symphony, because it was not received well by the audience, it was not received well by the critics, and Rachmaninov was very destroyed by that and had a really very difficult period, and was taking, his family supported him and brought him to take some psychological support, which he did with a great doctor who helped him, Nikolai Dahl, and this is also the person who this concerto is dedicated, because somehow after the treatment with, as it's here written, Monsieur Dahl in the score, Rachmaninov had this courage to compose again, and this is so amazing that you know, that this piece was actually kind of reborn of Rachmaninoff's composing motivation as well, and I really, it's a very special piece. Well, I know that I repeat this sentence very often about being that this is a very special, but this concerto is indeed very unique. It has something, of course, from the tradition of the, let's say, of the concerto of the second half of the 19th century, but anyway, it is also very modern in my opinion, and it has so many new ideas also in the communication with the orchestra. Jean Roy is saying Rachmaninoff has said one day that he found it more difficult to play than the third. What do you think? I think that this concerto is, well, it's difficult. Well, what means difficult? They are very different also in a pianistical approach, I would say, because this one is this concerto has it has on one hand more definite, in my feeling, longer melodical lines than number 3. And it has also some sections which are definitely where the piano is more serving or accompanying the orchestra. So there are many beautiful solo places in the orchestra part in this piece, well, in the third as well, but third is somehow a real piano piece. And this concerto, for me, it doesn't exist without the orchestra. It is a united composition, or kind of, maybe in a way like Brahms' first piano concerto, that it's a kind of symphony with a solo piano, something like this. Yes, Alexis, thank you for commenting that the first symphony has been, unfortunately, was not received well by the critics. Indeed, I also, well, I do not, to be honest, I don't understand. Sometimes I'm really angry because I don't understand why. Sometimes I hear comments that Rachmaninoff is like a little bit old-fashioned style, this late romantic. I don't think so. Also, once you really get into this music, once you analyze the harmonies, once you analyze this incredibly rich polyphonic language, it is absolutely, it's so modern. And also the harmonical tensions, the scales which he, because very often, almost all his pieces have tonality. They have a key. But Rachmaninoff very often also works with the scales, which is absolute 20th century approach. So I would just like to share some thoughts on this piece, on this amazing concerto with you. Camilo is saying, I would like to see you in a movie about piano playing this concerto. This is somehow indeed, I don't know, it's such a masterpiece, and I'm so happy that I have discovered so many things. I reopened this piece for me, and so excited to play it here, to record it for you all tomorrow here in the Historische Stadthalle Wuppertal. So the beginning, it is already the beginning of this concerto is absolutely extraordinary, because it starts with the piano introduction, and it's just 8 bars, I mean the introduction itself, and how should I describe it? I see it definitely as a bell. You know, in an Orthodox church, you have these real bells and the person who is ringing those bells. And the bells have different sizes. Some of them are small, some are big. So it means that in order to let the bell sing or to make to ring, you know, like that, I don't know if you say in English that this, I mean, the church bells are ringing, but I hope you understand what I mean. So it takes time until this swing, that the bell gets the vibration that it sounds. So it's in the beginning, even the very big bells, they are very soft. Their sound is very soft, and then it's with every beat, it gets louder. So for me, this beginning is definitely the bell sound, which is, maybe it's coming from far away, coming closer, or however, but it is definitely this very regular, because the timing is always, it remains the same, but the sound is getting bigger, bigger and bigger. So the dynamics here is pianissimo, and this beginning is just so amazing. Well, this is my personal feeling about this introduction, is that Rachmaninov does not, I think that the Rachmaninov was quite precise in many comments which he was leaving in the score. So we have here there is no tempo change between this introduction and the main theme, which is coming 8 bars later. So for me, this is the reason why I keep the first line, the introduction, in the same tempo as the main theme, because somehow then for me it's more natural that this introduction is not it belongs to the theme. And then we have this amazing first theme, which is played by the orchestra, by the string part, which is a very, very long, very beautiful melody in a quite low register. So it's very, very dark. In a way, I feel that because the piano, this is again the place already where the piano is making kind of accompaniment. So we have. I can feel it maybe like a storm on the sea with the big waves, you know what I mean? That it's, yeah, it's a dark sky, dark sea, and very blue-gray, dark color in a way. And this melody is very, very, very expressive with the great modulations already here. But it has also this, how should I, this, in a way, these Slavic chords, these Slavic harmonies, especially these kind of things. Cello takes over, it's never ending. It's it's never ending melody, which is very, very expressive and somehow really very hurt. It's not breaking, but it just feels like a certain very noble way of expressing something very intimate in a way, but very, very, very deep. So the piano takes then over. Just this is the first time when the piano comes in with a melody and the sounds. Also here in this movement there are quite many sections of different characters. So between actually the main theme and the second there is not a very not a big section between it. The first movement is composed basically in a kind of classical sonata form, so with two subjects and a big development section. The second movement in this the second theme in this movement is absolutely, wow, that's a great contrast to the theme. It's in E flat major with a very, as I said, that's probably like blue sky after the storm, with this amazing warm expression. These parts the piano is playing alone first, but here in the end of the phrase the orchestra is supporting here with a first it's the viola and then it's cello, even here which is in the motive, it reminds me of always again, this is something, it has something very insisting, like, so this is, and this remains actually one of the most expressive or essential motives through the entire movement and even through the concerto. Oh, Bob is saying the wonderful church bell happened in music of Rachmaninov music. Absolutely, that somehow. Maybe Mussorgsky was another composer, especially in the last piece of the pictures at the exhibition, the Great Gate of Kiev, who is using this effect also on the piano. And Rachmaninov also did, but not so many other. Or if you have any association with the, or any piece which comes to your mind with the sound of the bell on the piano, please share, because somehow Mussorgsky and Rachmaninov are at the moment the composers who come to my mind. The development section is starts actually very it's again very, very, very dark. We have a little have, right? We have this kind of contrast, something more light, and then here we have for the first time the motive which will be getting very important, which is because the entire development section and the recap are actually built on a combination of those motives. Because first it comes in the piano in the first section of the development section when the piano enters. Mysterious in a way even. So there are modulations here in this development section which are absolutely unorthodox, unusual, because now we're finished now in the dominant to the E flat minor, which is a very far relation to the C minor. Then we have a modulation to C sharp minor, and then actually it grows and grows, and the orchestra is also then later on starts with this. So they take over the second theme, and the piano is playing. So it's combining. Rachmaninov is combining these different elements, and then it gets really very, very tutti. It gets so big, this explosion. Here, the piano is playing in triplets. Like really playing against the melodic line in the orchestra, and then it just gets so explosive and comes to the recap, which is Maestosen alla Marcia, where the orchestra is playing the first theme. And the piano is playing the motive from the development section. There's of very different elements. And then this is actually the only one time in this movement when the theme, the first theme appears, or a part of it appears in the piano part. Because until then we didn't have this in any form in the piano part. I mean, like in an original form. But here, in the recap, we have one phrase which comes from this first theme appearing in the orchestra in the beginning. The piano takes over. These pages also so incredibly important, where this part of the theme appears, and this is such an expressive music. So there is so much feeling in it, very, very noble, because somehow from what I have read about Rachmaninov and his own letters. He was a very modest and very noble person, but the feelings which he had, and that's also what how he described himself there, so deep and so moving. And then, after this explosion, the second theme appears in the horn, in the A flat major, and it is like in a way like a reminiscence, like a memory about something in the past, something very beautiful. But you know that this is all amazing. Getting back to the reality. And again, this is very honest also, you know. Yeah, this passage with the orchestra. The orchestra is having this motive from the development. The piano is coming back to this waves, to this tsunami, to this sea structure from the beginning. Yeah, somehow, and the movement also remains it remains for me in this sea mood, but somehow this great contrast between this dark beginning and the amazing light of the second theme, it's composed in such a strong way, and the voices are also, very often it's a dialogue with the orchestra, that the material is wandering between the piano and the orchestra, and this makes it also so beautiful, yeah, that the piano and the orchestra, you cannot take them apart. They belong together. They are united in this music. And the second movement, it's amazing that Rachmaninov here, he starts the movement in the C minor. So he starts in the tonality, in the key, which we have finished, in which he finished the first movement. And here, within 4 bars, he makes an amazing modulation to the E major, which is the tonality of this movement. To play only with 2 hands, so with orchestra it's better. So these triplets, Rachmaninov was already using for the beginning of the, I think it was the romance from these 2 pieces from 2 pieces for 6 hands, you know, and this is a very reflective, somehow very music which is very, for me, it somehow reminds also in a way on nature, which is a very beautiful. I see, yes, Jean-Roy say again a sort of harmonic march, the Bach. Well, it is, you see, I will show you the score, because again here we have an amazing polyphonic structure. We have a lower voice, we have the upper voice is the the triplets, then we have this long note, which we have to keep, and then we have those quarters, which have another chromatic line together with the left hand, and then the flute first plays this. Then it is the clarinet, which has a very long, very beautiful solo with this melody, but I'm trying to combine both in one, which is not so easy. Yes, and here we have this another very typical for Rachmaninov harmonic oriental, so-called oriental. Very often used by Rachmaninov. Yes, then the violins take over this this theme, and basically it's a very maybe. Very reflective, very pastoral music in a way. And then suddenly it comes to this second section. This movement is written more in a classical ABA form, so three-part form, with the middle section, which is again a big contrast. More sad in a way. But look, also here we have at least three voices here. We have two voices, and they are both important, so it's not like the upper voice is playing the melody. No, they are both important. And then we have those and then the mood again gets more dark with a great chromatic moments with different motives coming out, and then again we have the explosion. And then again is a little bit magical is happening. Then we have this very quick part, pianoso part with a very virtuosic, I feel there also some kind of very kind humor in it. So this movement is also full of different musical ideas with contrasts, with also with doubts about, I don't know. Well, from what I read about Rachmaninoff, he was a very self-doubting person, so he was never satisfied with himself, and maybe that also explains the way this amount of modulations which he uses in his music. It's always searching for the truth, for the light, I don't know, for something unique and special. Yeah, and then we come to the final movement, which is Allegro scherzando, again starting in the E major, in the key of the second movement, and actually it starts with a kind of cadenza for the piano, because as you of course, you know that there is no cadenza in this concerto, so it starts with a big passage. This gives this already this very virtuosic mood of the piece, and the theme is very playful. It's a Russian, somehow I feel it like a kind of Russian dance, because it's with great accents. Again, a little bit maybe fantastic, you know, it's a kind of very surreal also, some shadows first, but with a great spirit of a wonderful dance. The second theme in this movement is so much loved by so many people. Very long, never-ending melody with this kind of oriental elements, wonderfully expressive melody, very beautiful. And then we have this again a kind of mysterious section with this. We have a counterpoint with a very special kind of cold harmonies, again searching. Sometimes it feels like the time freezes there. It's not everything has stopped for a while, until it gets again very virtuosic in the development section. There is an amazing fugato section here. It starts with the orchestra. Also very, let's say, classical elements of a development section. And then, of course, in the end, we have this absolutely amazing coda, which is, again, the second theme, this beautiful, but in such a grand, amazing manner. The theme is played by the orchestra this time, and the piano is just having some, you know, some more grand chords. So it supports, this is the part where the piano supports and follows the orchestra. And of course, the brilliant ending of this piece, where it's a pinnacle of joy, and this dancing element, I think, is really very amazing here in this concerto. So this is going to be my great pleasure tomorrow to record this wonderful piano concerto number 2 by Sergei Rachmaninov with Maestra Julia Jones and the Sinfonieorchester Wuppertal here at the Historische Stadthalle, and I will be very happy if you will tune into the streams on April 3rd and 10th, where the recording will be streamed. Please check the description for the video below. There will be a link to the to these performances. And now I'm, of course, also very excited to play Bach here in this completely different space for you. And this is tonight is the E minor. It's unbelievable, it's already number 10. E minor, Prelude and Fugue from second book. The Prelude is actually, it's composed in like kind of Alman style, but in 3, but it's not, it's very elegant, there is no rush or, you know, this excitement of courant there, so this is how it starts. So it actually can be seen also as a two voices, two-part invention. The Prelude is divided in 2 parts, with both are with repeats. This is the first part, and the second as well should be repeated. It is more, it's now again like more a dialogue between these 2 voices, which is extremely, extremely beautiful, but very, very quiet and elegant, yes. The fugue is in 3. Wonderful fugue, to be honest. I'm very excited about it because it reminds a little bit on Grieg, but it is composed in a very, it gives me, well, I feel it would be a very proud dance, you know, look. Elements. We have the syncopations, which is that Bach composed here in the subject already. The syncopation. Then we have the 3 beats. So it's a very energetic, with a great, great spirit of energetic dance, some fire, I think. Originally the fugue was finishing actually after, I will tell you exactly now, after around 80 bars, but then Bach composed a kind of extended coda for that. And there is also a cadenza, which is very dramatic. So it's full of temperament, full of fire, full of temper. So the E minor, Prelude and Fugue for you, from Johann Sebastian Bach, second book of Well-Tempered Clavier. major, no, E minor, Prelude and Fugue, from the second book of Well-Tempered Clavier by Johann Sebastian Bach. Well, you see, I thought that was, anyway, that was the E minor Prelude and Fugue. For me, to be honest, it's very wonderful to have a chance also to play this music, Bach music, I mean, also in a space with a bigger sound, which is very beautiful. The feeling is, of course, different comparing to a smaller, drier room, but I'm very grateful to the Historische Stadthalle Wuppertal and to the Sinfonieorchester Wuppertal for this amazing opportunity to stream from here tonight. It was a great pleasure to see you all here in this stream, and yes, have a good time. Please subscribe my channel, and I hope that you will also enjoy the Rachmaninov stream, which we will be recording tomorrow here in Wuppertal. So have a good time. Thanks a lot for being here, and take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.